It took a little longer than expected, but Seth Curry is officially a member of the Golden State Warriors again. What's his impact going to be when he actually sees the floor? When will he see the floor? All these things on today's show. Plus, LJ Cryer, welcome.
You are Locked On Warriors, your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
What are they going to say now?
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the good word, everyone? Welcome into Locked On Warriors. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now, the #1 sports podcast network out there. Thank you for making us part of your day, part of your week. Ways to check us out: YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and wherever you get your audio podcast is a great way to take us on the go. My name's Charlie Walter, telling you that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If your bet wins, how about $300 in bonus bets to use across the app? Head to FanDuel.com to get started. On the show today, we'll welcome Seth Curry, LJ Cryer joining the team on a two-way contract. Jackson Rowe, thank you for your contributions, but it's LJ's time. Size for another small guard, tiny guard, you may say. Why did the Warriors do this? Plus, a comment on Will Richard that I want to respond to, and JK's ramp up ahead of the Oklahoma City Thunder game Tuesday, a big one against the Thunder, although without Steph Curry against the 20-1 OKC Thunder. They may be 21-1 at this point. Who cares? All I know is they're very good, and all I know is Matt Kolsky is very good. Co-host on this program today. You can find him on all the social media apps at the Kolsky. All right, let's start with Seth Curry, man. The best three-point shooter in the NBA last season, per the statistics, 45%. Joins the Warriors. What is his impact going to be when he does see the floor for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, best three-point shooter in the league last year. I was going to check. I want to say he's near the top all time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. No, that's all right. Well, I shouldn't be doing this while we're talking, but I want to say he's top 5 all-time three-point percentage. He is a career 43.3% three-point shooter. That is elite stuff. And the Warriors obviously have the most elite shooter ever, his brother, out, but also have a theoretically elite shooter in Buddy Hield that has been terrible this year.
30%. 30.
Yeah. Seth is not going to shoot 30% from three. Now, he's smaller than Buddy. I'm not sure. I don't know where that's a disadvantage for Seth. I mean, compared to other bigger guards, yes, maybe. But compared to Buddy, I don't think he's a worse defender than Buddy Hield. It's not like Buddy is seeing over the defense to make a lot of good passes. He's not a
better defender, though. He's not a better defender. It's just kind of like they're that's both.
Right. He's not, and I don't think there's really any way to play the Currys together for anything other than a photo opportunity. Just defensively, that feels like real trouble. But in minutes Steph isn't out there, when Steph is hurt, he can almost replicate the three-point shooting. And there have been too many games this year where the Warriors have been looking around wondering if anybody can hit a three for them. So that will be helpful. And I also think it's worth noting the Warriors are very short on guys to just dribble the basketball. I know that sounds like a ridiculous thing for an NBA team.
Seems simple, right?
Yeah, but when Steph is out, who's the best available ball handler? I think it's Draymond.
Pods?
And he's not great. And he certainly is not great at being tasked with initiating offense, right? Now, that has not been Seth Curry's prominent role over the years, but it has been at times.
It's probably Pat, actually. Pat's got a pretty decently tight handle.
That's true. It might be Pat, but you don't want to play Pat if you don't have to. So, Seth averaged 4 assists a game for Philly over half a year or something like that. He has not been asked to be a primary guard, a ball handler that much, but he's better at it than most of the guys the Warriors have, and that will be helpful. He's a guy who doesn't turn it over idiotically, because traditionally he's been the sort of player that's not going to be on the floor if he's making dumb turnovers. So look, Seth Curry is a 9th, 10th man level player, but I think he can be a good 9th, 10th man for the Warriors. And right now, I think he brings skills to the table that this team needs.
And he has a last name that is very beneficial in this area. It'll get him brownie points from day one, right? We're going to love Seth Curry. Oh, yeah. And
I don't like that.
Here's the thing we look at, man, because he had some good years when he was a little bit younger. He's Steph in terms of age. He's 35. You remember he went to Duke after Curry on of schools minus Davidson, and then Duke saw what Steph did, and they said, we want his brother, and they brought him in. He had some good years, man. I mean, 15 points he topped out for with Philly. He did it a couple times back in the early 2020s, 21, 22, those seasons. Good seasons with the Nets. The issue is last year it was one of the worst of his career in terms of just overall minutes, in terms of points. Everything's down. Played with Charlotte last year, 15 minutes per game, 6 points per game. But you're not asking for much. You're asking for some spot minutes to knock down some threes and help an offense that right now is middle of the pack in shooting at 35%. You have two of the greatest three-point shooters in NBA history on your team. You have a 7-footer that shoots damn near 40% from three. I don't understand how they're 35% at 14 in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. So this should help. And I just want to note, you're right. His minutes were down for Charlotte last year, but his production was very similar to what it's been for 10 years now. I just, per 100 possessions over the last 10 years, Seth Curry has been between 20 and 25 points per 100 possessions the whole time. And last year was just, 20.6. So, yeah, not his best, but he shot over 45 from three. He still shot 2-point baskets well. He was efficient. He did not turn it over much. Like Charlotte
never turned it over, man. He's averaging 1 turnover per game for his career. His assist to turnover ratio. I mean, it's just 2-to-1 or whatever, because he's not a big assist guy. He's catch and shoot, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, he has not been asked to be the assist guy, but he has been responsible with the basketball always, and he has been a quality shooter. And it's mostly, and this goes for when he sort of leveled up from bouncing around to that year or two with Philly where he was starting and scoring. It's always been opportunity for Seth. And he's not the level of player that you want to be a starter for you. But if he has to start, he's going to do basically what he does for 15 minutes, only he's going to do it for 30 minutes. There's some defensive limitations. He's not going to do anything much offensively in the paint, but he knocks down threes. He's responsible with the basketball. He knows where he's supposed to be, and he does things the right way. Like, he's just a solid professional. And there's no way that hurts this team, especially since, like, it's an absolute zero risk on the locker room level, right? I mean, Seth Curry is not going to disrupt the Warriors locker room. I can promise you that.
Does he play against OKC? Does he have physicals to go through? Because the Warriors announced on Monday, on the 1st of December, that he had joined the squad. So
good question. I mean, I don't know the actual answer, but I would guess this is not a coincidence, either of these guys. I do not think we're going to see a lot of the over 35 set for the Warriors tonight. I mean, Steph's out already. Jimmy had those 2 brutal falls in the last game. And, Draymond's always looking for a night off when Steph's not playing. So
let LJ Cryer cook. That's a tease, man. Let LJ Cryer cook.
Seth, LJ, Pods, Kuminga, hopefully, all of that tonight is what I expect you'll see. And you know what? There's a level at which I think those guys will give OKC a better game than if the Warriors put out what you might call their full squad right now, just because, like, those guys hopefully will be hungry. That's what I don't know that we've seen enough of from the young guys this year. Get hungry out there. Yeah, you're probably going to lose to Oklahoma City. What do you have to lose? Put it on the line and compete. And that would be what I hope and expect to see tonight.
All right, LJ Cryer, you know what he is. He's a dog. Warriors need more dogs. We're going to talk about him joining the team on a 2-way contract. That's coming up. We need more dog. We don't need no cats. We don't need no meow.
And most importantly, he a dog. We need more dogs.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at PrizePicks. This holiday season is one of the best time for sports. You got bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes, and it's all happening at once. And while we're making choices, one of the fun places to make the right call is PrizePicks. It's the easiest way to get in on daily fantasy. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, lock in your lineup, and you're in the game. It's simple, fast, and in 45 states, including California. PrizePicks has added an extra layer to the holiday sports schedule. One of the nice things about it, Seth Curry, if he's on there, take his over on threes, take Kuminga's over on points, take Draymond's over on rebounds, whatever, add them together. The more you get right, the more you win. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineup after you play your first $5 lineup. Deposits are quick, withdrawals are easy, and keeps everything flowing and makes the moment more. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. Today's episode is also brought to you by our favorite jeanswear. That is Doer in San Francisco. Check them out at 567 Hayes Street. Why you want to check them out is because it's not just the jeans, it's the clothes in general they have there. The jeanswear, the performance denim slim straight. I tell you about it all the time, but I also have some nice little hem shirts that are super nice. I wear them for work. I wear them to run errands. I wear them to the gym, not to work out. I haven't gotten to that point yet, although they do have 5 times the stretch of traditional denim, but they're nice to wear before and after, and throw them in your gym bag. They got Cool Max that regulates your body temperature and keeps you cool as the temperature changes. It wicks away moisture as the temperature's hot. And the jeans feel stretchy without looking stretchy. Trust me, you're going to love them. Check out for yourself. 567 Hayes Street in Hayes Valley. Mention my promo code LOCKEDONSF in store. You'll get 15% off your first order, or check them out online, shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF for 15% off. It is a great holiday gift. I'm telling you, check them out. You'll like them. DUER. That's shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF. All right, it's back to the program.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully we'll never find out.
Stopping Steph Curry right now is a quad contusion, and because of that, the Warriors need some more shooting. And Jackson Rowe, who has been in the two-way spot for a minute now, was waived. He's out. In is LJ Cryer. And Kolsky, you agreed with me on this take, but one of my prouder moments was when the Warriors picked him up on an Exhibit 9, I believe it was, and I said, this guy's going to play in the NBA this season. And that hasn't come true yet, but I still believe it. And it's because he's a dog, man. He's 6 foot, but I talk about all these guards that have come through Houston, the Jamal Sheds and the Quentin Grimes and the Jarris Walkers and the Marcus Sassers. The list goes on and on. Like LJ Cryer was as good as any of them basketball wise. He's just short, and he proved it in Santa Cruz that he can play. Averaged 24 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds in 7 games. Shot at 41% from 3, attempted 12 threes per game. And we saw him light it up in the preseason, actually led that comeback with Quentin Post against Portland. I was getting pissed at Steve Kerr because he'd play him like 5 minutes a game and Cryer would go for 14 in those 5 minutes. I'm like, give this dude some damn run. Will we see LJ Cryer at all this season?
Yeah, I think he is a night off guy. Right. I think we're going to see LJ Cryer in garbage time, and we're going to see LJ Cryer on nights where other guys don't play. And that's all right for a fringe NBA dude. I think that's great. Good for him. And here,
is there any chance he's not a fringe NBA dude?
Yes.
Because we sleep on people sometimes. He's small.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just mean logistically, he's been a fringe NBA guy for now. But I do think he has an NBA career. And here's what I'll say.
Too.
I worked in the G League many years ago. Well, it wasn't the G League then, it was the D League. And it is not that what I'm about to say is not as true now as it was then, but it is still true to an extent. The guys who are going to be NBA players, when they get into a G League game, look around at the other dudes on the floor and say, wait a second.
I'm better than you.
I'm a lot better than these guys.
Yeah.
And they just do everything. LJ Cryer is 6 feet tall. How many rebounds did you say he was averaging in the G League?
5.
Yeah. So that's a guy who believes and is playing like he is much better than all the dudes he's playing with. Jackson Rowe's not that guy, with all due respect. Jackson Rowe was and is a very fringe NBA player. He is basically an undersized 4, which, frankly, the Warriors are loaded with undersized 4s. So, they obviously like him as a guy and probably as a player, but I think this is a no-brainer. LJ Cryer, there's two things. Number one, the thing I just said about the G League, that to me says this guy, first of all, he should have the confidence. He led Houston for the last 2 years of his college career to being one of the best teams in the country. And he
won a title with Baylor.
Yeah, he's the leader. He was a team leader on Houston and a significant contributor to a title team in Baylor. Like, the guy has the pedigree, but also, like, sometimes when you're not an elite level talent, confidence is a huge part of the battle. And if this guy's going out there shooting 12 threes a game and hitting them, rebounding at 6 feet tall, like, that dude belongs in the NBA. So I'm glad he's here. I'm glad the Warriors made this decision. And I think, there is a chance that he develops into a rotation player in the NBA, because if you have that skill of being an elite 3-point shooter, which he is off to an awfully good start, in terms of looking like he might be able to do that, people are going to find minutes for you. And I would also say, like, much like Steph, he has not usually been asked to be a distributor because he's been a knockdown shooter. He's doing a lot of catch and shoot. But he is a guy that had the ball in his hands a lot and didn't turn it over a lot, stupidly. And that, again, is a skill that the Warriors are desperate for right now. Less stupid turnovers. So, like, he's not taking Brandon Pajemski's rotation spot. But if he's responsible with the basketball and an efficient player who knocks down the looks he gets, he's going to find minutes on this team. They want guys who don't turn the ball over.
Big question was, why would the Warriors add another guard? And the easy answer is because he's good.
Because he's good, and because there's not an easy way to add a center. If there was a center at the level of LJ Cryer that they had access to, they would have signed him instead, I promise.
Coleman Hawkins ain't walking through this door. Yeah, Coleman Hawkins ain't walking through these doors. Everyone loved him over the summer. But yeah, he's good and he can shoot, man. And I think it's also because they just want to make sure another talented player doesn't get poached. I think they learned the lesson after Ryan Rollins, where they believed in the guy to bring him in. They didn't really give him a shot, and he goes elsewhere, and now he's playing well.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be part of, like, a little bit of that could be part of it, but also just, like, on its face, LJ Cryer would be much more appealing to people around the league than Jackson Rowe. I expect Jackson Rowe will stay on the Warriors G League team, and I doubt anybody will poach him. But as you said, LJ Cryer doing what he was doing in the G League, I think might have got snapped up.
And he's got dog in him. Like, don't look at the fact that he's 6 foot and maybe 6 foot with lift kits in his shoes, because he's a little guy, man.
But when
you play for Kelvin Sampson, you got to defend, right? I mean, that's
he's
simple
tough.
as that.
I don't know if he's going to be a good NBA defender, but he's tough and he'll do what's asked of him. And
positionally, he's going to be good.
Yes, no comparison between these two players. Don't misunderstand me, but I will say that a certain not quite 6 foot guard who's retiring as of the last couple weeks had a pretty good career despite not quite being 6 feet tall. So, it's hard to be good when you're that short in the NBA, but it's not impossible.
No, it is not. All right, a couple things I want to get into as we lead into the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Warriors game. It's one of those late night ones, 8 o'clock Pacific, or is it 9 o'clock Pacific? It's a late one. Let's just put it that way. It's 8 o'clock Pacific, and it's against OKC. It's at Chase Center. It's an opportunity to hand OKC their second loss of the season. Seems like it's going to be very difficult. Kolsky, I'll give you the task while we get to the ads to look up those lines and see what the Warriors are underdogs at right now. Will Richard, I want to get into him, a comment that was made in an article, whether we agree with it or not. And then also Jonathan Kuminga's ramp up. How many minutes is he going to get as the Warriors take on the Thunder shorthanded without Steph Curry at the very least? This is Locked On Warriors. We will be right back.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
Today's episode is brought to you by America's #1 sportsbook. It is FanDuel. The NBA is partnered with FanDuel. It's the official sports book of the association. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Live bets, meaning every drive, every momentum swing, every big three and highlight moment. It's good stuff. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, momentum flips after a turnover. Look, it's good stuff, and FanDuel lets you jump in on the moment. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, suddenly everything feels different, and you want to be ahead of the action with those live spreads and the money lines adjusting instantly. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. And speaking of FanDuel, I gave Kolsky the task of looking up the line. What are the Warriors tonight against the Thunder?
Depending on who you ask, they're getting 11.5 or 12 points from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
12 points at home. That sounds like a mortal lock, folks. Go lock it in on FanDuel. We'll be right back.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully, we'll never find out.
All right, man. So let's just start it there. The Warriors 12-point dogs at home against OKC. It goes to show you, A, how poor they've been without Steph, considering just a few nights ago they struggled until the final minutes with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are playing a little bit better, I will say, and do have Zion right now. Derek Queen's looking better. They have some young dudes that are stepping up, but they're like 3-18. They're not good by any means. And the other thing is just OKC's favored by more than 6 against just about every team in the NBA, home or away. They got Jalen Williams back. They're fully healthy. Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't need to be fully healthy because they're deep.
Out.
Okay.
Yeah, but
they'll be all right.
It doesn't matter.
They got Chet.
Dude, they are just an absolute juggernaut. And you know how that develops over the latter half of the season.
They may get the Clippers pick, or not may. They get the Clippers pick next year. The Clippers stink right now. This team could theoretically have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, the worst nightmare is if the Clippers continue to be this bad, because they have been truly. I mean, they got absolutely.
Clippers are in hell. That's
Miami last night.
Another episode. Yeah, they're in a bad spot. They're gonna have a fire sale here.
In fact, if you feel like the Warriors are struggling, go watch the Clippers for a quarter, and you're going to feel a lot better about what the Warriors are doing. And
they don't have their own pick until 2029.
I know, but the real fear is that they say, well, you know, we may not have our own pick, but it's not doing us any good to trot Kawhi and Harden out there every night. So maybe we'll trade them for some picks. And then the Thunder are going to get another star on this team. It's just completely bananas. But let's not play out that nightmare scenario right now. For now, this Thunder team is the best team in the NBA, and it's not close. I mean, they are much, much better than every single other team on a average night, never mind a good night. So, you know, again, I know people are sensitive about allegedly throwing games before they happen, but I continue to believe that the Warriors' number 1 priority should be getting their veterans in the best fighting shape they can be in, not just over the course of the season, but more specifically as we get later in the season. And I would not waste energy against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. That would be my strategy towards it. So I think
such a loser's mentality. It's such a loser's mentality.
It's actually not, is the thing. And to me, the loser mentality, ironically, is this idea that every minute matters. All the time we talk about how much things don't matter in sports media. All the time people are complaining. The same people that complain that the regular season doesn't matter want to tell you to go get a guy injured in that game that doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. And the question is whether the goal is to win as many Tuesday games as possible, or if the goal is to try to compete when it's time to compete for a title. Now, look, as time has gone on, the odds of the Warriors actually competing for a title is clearly dropping. All right. I'm not saying that is a high level possibility, but I still believe that when the Hall of Famers are healthy, with or without a trade, I give them a fighting shot, and I certainly don't want to see them in the playoffs if they're healthy, if I'm an opposing team. So the notion that, you know, not giving everything you have to beat a team that's obviously much better than you in December is a loser's mentality is crazy to me. It's crazy because the mentality should not be win every minute of every game. The mentality should be position yourself to win big. And throwing Jimmy Butler out there, even if he plays great, it doesn't contribute to competing when it matters.
All right, I'm going to keep having therapy sessions with you to end every show, talking about my sports card addiction. So we got the of 5. So there's 5 copies in the world Seth Curry card, and I'm like wondering what to do with it. You know, I'm like, that's a very rare card, but Seth Curry, it's like,
oh, bro, you hold that
just because he's the brother of Steph.
Well, he's about to play with Steph. You have no idea what's going to happen. If there's a moment this year, there could easily be a moment this year where all of a sudden the card's worth twice as much as it was yesterday.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, how much value will it lose between now and the end of Seth's career? It's not like
I'll hold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big one that I have a question though. It's a I think it's National Treasures is what it's called. It's a Kuminga. It's a game worn relic with an autograph rookie card. So all of a sudden, I need you, Kuminga. With the Warriors, wherever you are, I need you, JK. And tonight's a good time to get him ramped up, man. I think you give him 30 minutes if he's feeling good. Pelicans game was not really an opportunity to see what he was made of because it was kind of it felt like a sea legs game. If Kuminga doesn't get 25, 30 minutes in today's game, do you have this underlying feeling that maybe there's a little bit of the Steve Kerr thing going on again?
Not yet, because I mean, he played 19 something, I want to say, in that first game. That usually means a guy has a medical limit restriction of one kind or another. I don't know if they've said anything about that.
It was like 6 days ago, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many factors tonight. If the big names sit and Kuminga doesn't play, and there's no mention of a minutes restriction, then yeah, I guess that's getting a little suspicious again. And look, at this point, I just don't even think it's about the argument of Kuminga as a player anymore. There's just no argument for benching the guy at this point. The team's not playing well. You don't have Steph Curry. You absolutely need.
I agree. It's different than last year when you were humming and you were winning without him, and you go
right now you stink, and you either need him to be good or you need to get something for him, or the season is over. So you gotta play him. You just have to play him, and you hope it goes well. But you can't react to every little instance because you need his things. You need the things he does on the court, and you need the value out of that roster spot, whether it's him or someone else. So from now until January, it's a month and it's 6 weeks, right? Until he can be traded. 6 weeks. And he's got to get every minute he can over those 6 weeks for both his benefit and the Warriors' benefit as a team.
I agree, man. I don't really think you can argue with that take. I mean, there could have been some arguments last year going into the playoffs. Everything's humming. If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's slightly broken right now.
It's broken.
And it was equally as broken when he went out with the injury, So it's no Steph out there. You need someone to put the ball in the basket. What is one thing that he can do? And this year, he hasn't been doing it as much, man. There was an opportunity. I think he had Alvarado on him on the post, and he didn't take him. And that to me was just that's interesting.
Well, whether he's pouting or he's just been coached into absolute mental hell, I don't know. But I don't know how you can look at the way he's played this year, which has been considerably less aggressive from a scoring perspective, and not think that it is in some way related to the way he's been coached, Either he's being a jerk, and I'm not defending that if that's what he's doing, or he's just actually trying to take all the yelling to heart and not take bad shots. It's hard to say which. And part of the problem with him is we never know what's going on.
It's been a small, inconsistent sample size. So a lot more games to play, starting with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kolsky, enjoy the night off. I will be there riding stag with everyone after the OKC game. let's hope I don't do this show at halftime. Let's just put it that way.
Please.
right?
Let's have a fun game. All right.
Yeah.
And this is you don't have kids, so you get to stay up for the late games.
30 points from LJ Cryer. This is Locked On
LJ.
Warriors, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Come on, Seth, light it up.